Tiffany Nelson. I am a rising senior at Fisk University, and I'm very happy to be moderating this conversation with Dylan Camp and Autumn CRUSE for this year's Running the Elevator. So to start off, I wanted to just introduce a little more. As I said, I'm a student at Fisk University, and I was introduced to this project through class. And I'm really happy to be working with Dylan and Autumn. Dylan is a Tennessean artist whose works are display her experience growing up as a Black American artist in the South and show that through lived scenes, showing the beauty, spirituality, and strength of lived experiences. As Michael said, Autumn recently graduated with a degree in art for graphic design at TSU and also has a business called Global Graphics, and I'm very excited to work with her on this project. To start off about the theme of the project, this project was introduced through class, and we were sort of working with this unconventional space in the elevator, and we were working off of local artists, and I was really drawn to Dylan's work through how it depicts Black people and the joy in that, and also how they're so dreamlike. And that was really what I was thinking about when I was coming up with the theme for this exhibition. I was thinking about what I wanted to see as a person who's been coming to the Frisk, and I was really happy when I found Dylan's work. The title, Here With You, Awake and Dreaming, comes from this thought of being awake and also sort of in that space of dreaming where it can be really imaginative and optimistic. Also coming from the piece Here With You, which is the first piece you see when you come into the elevator space on the main floor. To sort of start off, I really wanted to talk about some of your inspiration, Dylan, because that's one of the things that stood out to me when we were talking, because you sort of mentioned your family, and you were showing me some pictures that you took from where your family is in the South, and I thought that was really interesting. So could you talk a little bit about that and how your family influences your art?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everybody. My family is a huge inspiration for my art. I would say that my art is almost kind of based upon my family. I really gravitating frequently towards the lineage, my family being from the South. Also, the different roles that people have in my family. I'm always interested in exploring those, kind of like being able to shine light on all the different types of people and all the different types of walks of life that kind of embody my family. It's also really interesting because I come from a family where it's like we have kind of like a tale of two cities almost, to where I didn't have a countryside and family, kind of like a city side of family. So it's really interesting to be able to kind of like focus on both of those within my artwork.
I have a slide with some of your family photos because it was really inspirational, especially this picture of your grandmother, Carolyn Spencer, and I really like seeing the sort of from the yearbook and also now.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, shout out to my granny. I love her so much. This was at our last family reunion in Memphis. And she's just so sweet. She's just kind of like the love of my life. I really love her so much. And it's so special because she's still the mother of her church, which is really cool. So I love her, but then like she has a whole congregation of people who really look up to her and who really adore her. So I like being able to spend time with her. And it's so cool because so in my family, I also do the genealogy and the family tree for my family. So I do all the research. I like reach out to all the state departments. I get like photos of people, and then I kind of like collect them all, and then put them in a document for my family to enjoy. So this photo right here was really cool because I was able to get in contact with Logan County, Kentucky, and get her high school photo from like the I don't even know, maybe like the 50s or the 60s. She really loved that photo. I was able to show it to her for like the first time in 50 years. She was just blown away.
I'm really happy to hear that, like you being sort of the keeper and organizing your family's history. That's really cool. Can you talk a little about like sort of the location and where your family's from?
Sure, my family's from all Actually, I would say we actually kind of reside all in the South right now, but my family directly is from Logan County, Kentucky, and Little Rock, Arkansas. So my family in Logan County, Kentucky, it's like a place called Russellville, and it's really interesting. It's like this small black town right outside of, kind of in between Ashland City and Louisville, Kentucky. And it's just so amazing. I'm just so enamored by them every time I go back. They do this thing called the 8th of August that I really like. And it's like a celebration of sorts that is kind of like a big cookout that the whole town kind of participates in. So Logan County, Kentucky, compared to Nashville, is like it's a really grounding for me to be able to visit and go back to.
Thank you. Because I wanted to show, so these are some of the photos, but also had the tablet with sort of collage in them. And this is a sneak peek of what you will see if you scan the QR code on the upper level mural. But could you talk about sort of the design process and your thought process when designing this?
Yeah, so when I spoke with Dylan, she did mention that family was a huge influence for her. So when I took it upon myself to check out some of Dylan's work, it has a nostalgic feel to it, a huge sense of nostalgia. So I wanted the collage to give that nostalgic feel. So I wanted it to be like you were flipping through a photo album, a family photo album. So that's where the Polaroid pictures came from, as far as the images. And we kept the background blue just to fit the landscape that she mentioned was also a huge influence for her.
So next, I sort of wanted to talk to you, Dylan, about sort of your artistic process, because I feel like when you see like a painting in a museum, you sort of want to know like what went on behind sort of the idea for the painting to the finished product.
Yeah, sure. My process of my painting is really interesting. I would say it's really meditative and almost imaginative. A lot of my process kind of begins with me sitting down with my eyes closed, maybe music, maybe no music, and I honestly just let the paintings just kind of appear in my head, and then I just write them down as I see them. And then once they're in my head, then it's kind of like my duty to be able to bring them into the physical space, and it's almost just like a vision that I come across within my head, and it's really interesting. And then past that part, I'm really interested in being able to kind of be able to tell the story exactly the way that I see it. So my process involves a lot of like thinking and meditating on how I feel like these people should be able to come into fruition.
When you're painting like the characters, do you have any like specific inspiration, or like you said, do they just like come to you?
I would say that I grab inspiration throughout my whole life. I really try to grab inspiration daily. I'm one of those people too where I write down things. I video record. I voice memo. I do everything just to really be able to document my life and being able to kind of be able to look back on those moments. I feel like it's almost like a part of my process to be able to be like a witness of life and to be able to witness it the way that I see it and to tell it through my own eyes.
Next, I sort of wanted to talk about community, like your idea for the people sort of surrounding you in the elevator. Like, if you haven't been to the elevator yet, you should definitely go see it. And it feels very like, warm and inviting.
Yeah.
So I sort of want to talk about like what does that mean to you, community, and how do you want your work to affect those people who see it?
That's a good question. I love community so much. I think that community for me is almost like a lifeline. Community is also a space that I find like within myself and within the people around me. I feel like it's kind of like a blueprint for my own artwork. I really like to be able to paint and be able to depict community, almost like depicting group activities is really big for me because I feel like there's something special about being able to give life to being able to give life to multiple people in the same painting. I really like to be able to really focus on like love and joy and being able to depict that as well. I feel like it's so special and such like a cool emotion. So I'm always really trying to depict either that or family or love. any type of thing that has to do with like sharing and connection between people, I really enjoy that.
Yes, we'll also ask that to you, Autumn, because we work with graphic design and helping businesses.
To piggyback off of what Dylan said, I believe community is all about connection. When I design, I want my work to make people feel something, whether it be excitement, whether it be confidence, whether it's just curiosity. When people are walking past, I want them to pause and feel connected, whether it's to themselves or to the story itself. I believe it's all about connection.
I feel that through how you designed around Dylan's work. Next, so I wanted to ask you, Dylan, about how you depict religion and spirituality throughout your work, because I felt that was sort of the, this piece on the left is not in the exhibit, but it was a piece I was looking at when I was coming up with a theme and trying to look through existing works, and I just thought it was so amazing because of how like surreal it is. And then also a piece